going to the river today. We're going to go on a little metal detecting adventure. Now, I'm not in my truck because I was out yesterday on the river and had a disaster-filled day. And one of the disasters is that my brakes kind of almost quit working. They're really spongy. Pedal right to the floorboards, and it just would barely stop. And it's because I had replaced the brakes and the pads and everything. Replaced everything, and I guess I didn't get them bled quite enough. So we're in the car today, the little Chiggerino car, and we're going to go down to a spot that I don't know how deep it's going to be. And if it's really deep, we might have to scuba dive. If it's not too deep, we'll probably just snorkel and wait around. But we'll have to wait and see. So this turns into a scuba diving video. No more yapping for the jig. I'm safe now. Alright, we'll see you on the river. Above water or underwater. We'll find out in a few minutes. So here we go. I made it to this site. Water wasn't deep. I'm just going to do a little bit of snorkeling. And I'm going to talk you through a few of the finds that I uncover. This was an old bridge site. There's lots of iron here. You're going to see me dig a bunch of spikes. And I'm just looking for maybe a coin or two or a mini ball or something soldiers or anyone might have thrown over the bridge. But yeah, just tons of iron. You couldn't metal detect this. And this is really the only way to search an area, just by fanning it and picking stuff up. By the way, if you see anything that I miss in this video while you're watching me underwater, let me know, because I can go back to this spot at any time and pick it up. But give me a timestamp, that point in the video where you actually see it, so I can go back there and get it. Look for arrowheads, and there's like a coin right there I might have missed, stuff like that. So I actually spent like an hour or so digging around in this area, and as you can see, I really only found iron. So I decided to move on to another spot and see if we could at least find a bullet or two. This was the first weird thing I saw. I'm not even sure what it is, to be honest with you, other than it's got a couple wheels and some gears. No idea what that might have gone to. And if you guys do, maybe let me know. It's just a strange object. Ready? Let's go find some Civil War relics. I get into a good spot, find a bunch of stuff, and I'll just pipe in every once in a while and let you know what I'm finding. This is my first bullet of the day. It's actually the base of a mini ball. Hit a rock or something, the rest of the bullet must have just flown to pieces, and that's the inside of the base. Very, very strange. And here's a little piece of burned coke or coal or something. Very lightweight, like pumice, but it gives a good signal on the metal detector. I just wanted to show you one of those. That's something we find pretty often while metal detecting. So we have another mini ball here. That's a 58 caliber one. I'm pretty sure it's fired. If you look very carefully around the outside, you can see some little lines on it, and that's where the rifling grabbed it and spun the ball as it was fired. Another mini ball here. I'm not sure if that's dropped or fired, actually. Could very well be dropped. And what we have here is a split shot. It's used by fishermen to weight the lines. I've included one or two of these in the video. We find tons of these in the rivers, and I just cut those clips normally. And another type of fishing weight is just a piece of lead that's been twisted around. It's got some string on it. That could be old, could be Civil War era, but probably not. This could be a split shot or a fishing weight, but when you look at it closely, there's no way to attach a line. So I'm going to say that's a fired musket ball or pistol ball. And sometimes it takes me a while to actually get down to a target, so I'll, of course, naturally I'll have to go ahead and cut all that digging out, but so you'll see a little change in the thing. I try to put a transition in there so you know what I'm doing. But yeah, there's a mini ball right there. That's a beauty. Definitely fired. You can see it's all misshapen. This is another kind of fishing weight that you'll find, or sinker as we say in the US. You'll notice it has a little eyelet on the top. That's where you attach the line. You'll have a bag of these every time you go detecting in the river. Now this is a curious mini ball because you notice the top has been cut and the bottom has been flattened. Don't know why, but I would say that was pitched in the river by someone and not fired for sure. Nice little squeakery here, but unfortunately the brass is just a handle to a fishing rod or fishing reel. Fired mini ball, and you can see how flattened it is. So that hit at a pretty close range, had a lot of energy stored in it, and it must have just flattened against a rock, just like I'm going to show you here. Bink, bink, there you go. Now this is a cool little encounter. Well, little encounter. It's a big old snapping turtle. You see these on the rivers and creeks a lot. I just kind of poked at him a little bit to get him up there so you can get a good look at him. I'm not hurting him in any way. But yeah, that's a monster. You'd take your fingers off if you got your finger in his mouth. I was kind of sad that I did this because it was really murky out further, and I was afraid I was going to run into him again. He was going to get his revenge on me, but he didn't seem to mind it too bad. Remember that handle to that fishing reel I found earlier? Well, there's some more of it. A few more pieces and I'll have a complete rig. This was odd. It's just a small piece of chain just like stuck to the rock. Nothing on the front or end of it. Tons of iron out here, so I'm digging anything that's of any size because it could be artillery shells or bayonets or muskets. So yeah, you just got to dig stuff like that just to make sure. red thing is called a wire nut. As you connect little electrical wires together. Could have come off a boat trailer that ended up in the river. Another fired mini ball. You can see how the end's all kind of deformed. That's where it hits something kind of soft. You can't really see it, but now you can. This is a big old 69 caliber mini ball. Great big old heavy thing. That's pretty awesome right there. Now you'll notice on this little piece of lead when I pull it up that it has a line down it, like cut in it, right there. That's where someone cut it so they could put a fishing line across the lead and fold the lead back over it. So that's a fishing weight or sinker of some sort. Could be from the Civil War, could be from 10 years ago. There's really no way to say. This is a little spinner blade off of a fishing lure called a spinner. The hook and stuff is rotted away. Now this is interesting. That's a little piece of melted aluminum. It's probably from someone's campfire where they threw cans in it and it melts into a blob. It gives a real good signal. A lot of people find those on the river and think it's like silver ore or something, but it's not. It's really lightweight. It's just aluminum. Another bullet, nice mini ball. Looks like the end's flattened. Pretty sure that was fired too. big old 69 caliber mini ball. You can see one side of it's got that slope on it. That means it hit a rock. So that was definitely fired. I always love when this happens, when you get a signal and you look down and there's like multiple targets there, and there's two mini balls in the same crack in the rock. I'll kind of work the sand a little bit more, see if there's any additional ones in there for you, so I can get a nice shot. But there's just those two, but they're both fired, and they're just really cool. I just love when you first see them when they come off the bottom like that in that nice clear water. It's just fabulous. And here come two little crayfish or crawdads. They were actually fighting. One was chasing the other, and kind of interfered. They can pinch you. It hurts. They can actually draw blood, but they don't cause any real damage. Some more of that melted aluminum. You just got to dig it because it sounds good. This is probably my favorite mini ball of the day coming up. It's a hard impact one, that was fired at very close range, or hit a rock at very close range, flattened out. If you notice, it's got that like half moon thing. That's actually the base. That's just a cool find right there. Well, what do you think? You enjoy that little adventure? I hope so, because I sure did. I tried something a little different with this video in that, well, I think I tried something a little different. I haven't actually done it yet, but I went ahead and narrated over the top of me finding things underwater. That way I don't have to come up and talk about it and go back down and stuff like that. And what do you think about that? Did that work for you guys? If you want me to do that some more, I will. If not, I won't. But it's actually a little bit easier for me, I think, because like I said, I don't have to worry about the water and the mics and all that other stuff. Let me show you real quick what we found. We did pretty good, actually. Got a nice number of bullets today, to include some big old 69 caliber bullets and some fired ones, maybe some dropped ones. That one's really mushed out. That's kind of interesting here. This is actually the base of a bullet. The rest of it fell apart. But that's actually the inside of the base, and it hit really hard against the rock. Kind of like that one right there. So pretty cool, huh? I enjoyed that. It was like 95 today, and I'm actually chilled right now. And the water's like bathtub warm. So, I'm such a wimp. But it was great, man. It was just a perfect day. We'll see you on the next one, I hope.
Baby, and I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the